another 30 seconds. Y'all mind if I borrow another 30 seconds real quick? Appreciate it. For another 30 seconds, real. Just one more time. What up, y'all? Can you hear me out there? Apologies if you can't hear the music. We are currently playing our theme song. I'm going to turn on camera 2. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope you guys can hear the theme music. If not, we're going to have these technical difficulties worked out. I promise on our next show. We had quite a few troubles just getting up and running this first time. But hopefully you can hear that theme song, dope theme song. Applause for you guys for showing up, for coming out. There's people falling in, and I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for coming. How's the echo? Is the echo bad? Like, let me know. And please make sure that you leave some stuff in the chats. Let me know. Is there an echo at all? This is our first time going live, so we have some kinks and things to work out. But we're going to get it figured out. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Crossfaded, episode 1. The slap heard round the world. I'm your host. My name is Omega Legacy. And, man, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you guys are here. Shout out to everybody stopping by. I'm not going to waste time and let more people fall in. I'm glad that people are here as of now, which is great. I feel like if I have one set of eyes, that's wonderful. and I'm a performer. I'm a musician, so I please regardless. I don't care if it's one person in the crowd or 20. All right. So just to give a little bit about our page, here, Classic Records and myself, Omega Legacy, and what I'm here to accomplish. My purpose is to um, educate and entertain. So you're going to get an education and entertainment mix. Um, the education will consist of music. So if you are a subscriber of the page, you've been watching videos at this point, and you know that we're about music. You know that we're about music knowledge, music business, and that's what our focus is. That's what my focus has been. A little bit about myself. I am an artist. I am a rapper, preferably lyricist, and a singer. I've been doing this for some time. Um, and just kind of starting to branch over to YouTube and utilize YouTube as my main platform. I did not have an understanding of how powerful YouTube really is until in these recent, you know, few months. I know I'm late, right? Yeah. Well, nonetheless, I'm here, so that's what matters. And I'm gonna give you guys great content. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you share. Check out all of our videos, um, and make sure that you um, save them. If you're a musician, um, we pride ourselves on making evergreen content that you'll be able to utilize over and over again. Um, Stuff like videos that talk about definitions in music, payola. What's payola? Uh, what are ancillary contracts, or as you may know them, 360 contracts, etc. So we just try to give as much game as we can um, per video, and just give you the jewels of all of these different videos that are uh, they may be lengthy, like Drink Champs, and other videos that have like long time frames, and sometimes they drop these intricate jewels in there that you may not get to or you may not find, and we pride ourselves on digging them out and then taking and putting them online so people can see these jewels, so they can apply these jewels to their music careers, and to their musical situations and whatever it is that their endeavors are in music. Um, um, Music is my passion. It's been my passion for years, but I am learning about what it means to put purpose over passion, and how to execute that. And that's what I'm doing here. That's what Crossfaded is about. It's about putting purpose over passion, meaning as people, we all have a purpose to save others and to help others as much as we can. So I pride myself on uh, just providing information and things that I've learned, so that people can utilize that. And I'm just kind of learning how to put my purpose second, but it's a good fit. It feels good to help first and to contribute first. So, but that's what we're about. That's what Classic Records is about, and the show Crossfaded is about music. It's about education. It's about entertainment, and it's about life abroad. So that's Crossfaded, and not to mention, we have a sip every now and again, and we partake in other activities as well. Hence, Crossfaded. When you look up the name of Crossfaded, it isn't just a ficket. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a mixer or a dial and mixer. It's more than that. You know what I'm saying? So But yeah, man, that's our mission, man. Just passion over purpose and trying to help people with information and then my musical experiences. I've had a ton of experiences. I've toured multiple times. I've met um, tremendous people in music. Um, I've met folks like DMX, which was wonderful meeting him and talking to him and spending the time with him that I did get the opportunity to do. God bless DMX, rest in peace. If you get the chance, go to our page and check out the DMX Breakfast Club posts. I think one of them is somewhere around 600,000 views, maybe more. And it's about DMX telling about his experience up at Def Jam and how he had to kind of deal with getting the legs cut from underneath him by Jay Z. He tells his side of it. And then he also says a prayer with the Breakfast Club. Check out that video as well. So, but meeting folks like him and folks like Jelly Roll and Struggle Jennings and um, just a lot of other folks that I've had the opportunity to meet in music, great musicians, great lyricists. I'm here to provide those experiences and that knowledge to anybody who will listen and anybody who has any questions. I've spent quite a bit of time. I didn't just start this yesterday. I've been in music probably since, I'll say I've been doing music since I was a kid. I have been formerly a singer, so most of the music that I've done in my childhood was um, R&B music, and I've been in choirs for I don't know maybe 4 to 5 years worth of choral experience. I've also been like soloist and awarded on multiple occasions as a soloist throughout school. But then after school, um, I got into hip hop very on a personal level. Always wasn't into hip hop as a kid, but on a personal level and formulated myself into an artist over time. So I found hip hop in a deeper sense after school, and ever since then, I've kind of been marrying the two, hip hop and R&B. Um, but yeah, man, that's just a little bit about me. Um, we're gonna do some more videos to talk about you know myself here and there, but mainly it's about the knowledge and the education. Um, so, and any questions again, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you for everybody that is showing up. If you're just getting here, if you're just getting here, um, I know that you have seen that the title of this video is "The Slap Heard Round the World," and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Is the slap heard around the world? I'm sure that you know what it is. Um, Man, let me start by saying Will Smith's slap um, overshadowed so many people's achievements and so many people's moment. He took a lot of moments from people. In the middle of an awards ceremony that was all about so many things that were first and so many things that um, have been contributed to people of color or by people of color, by people of sexual orientation, um, and gender as well. Um, it was an amazing. It was the stage was set to be an amazing situation, and it was ruined. Um, it was ruined by this man's decision. Um, just to kind of give a highlight, there was a lot of firsts, dude, and I knew about a few of the first, but then when my assistant, shout out to my assistant, um, Miss Colleen, I appreciate her to the fullest. She's really been helping me get this thing off the ground, and she's helped in tremendous ways. She's responsible, actually, for the remodeling of our crossfaded logo. Shout out to Miss Colleen. Thank you and love you to death for everything you do for us and more. Um, so this this show had the first year that couples had been nominated in the same year. Um, Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem, um, and Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons, being the Ricardos for Javier Bardem and his wife, and The Power of the Dog, Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons. First time for couples to have been nominated in the same year. Um, you had the first time that a Muslim individual had won an Oscar. Um, I'm looking for those first. I'm having trouble finding them. That sucks. You had the first time that Questlove had won an Oscar for a documentary, and unfortunately, Questlove happened to suffer the most from the slap. His award was being presented during the slap, actually. So it really sucks for him. Um, let's see. And you had the first time that a outward an outward uh, gay woman had won an Oscar, and she was African American as well. I'm sorry that I can't find those for some reason. I can't pull those up, man. This sucks. But she wasn't the only uh, one in the LGBTQ community that won an Oscar. Um, there was also another lady uh, who won an Oscar as well, and she was the first uh, LGBTQ individual to win an Oscar in that category as well. Um, and I don't have that information. It was sent over to me, but for some reason, that clump of pictures that my assistant sent me is not working, and I'm not able to see, which really sucks. A lot of boundaries were broken, and a lot of things happened. Um, Ariana DeBose, by the way, shout out to her, first openly queer woman of color to win an acting Oscar. Um, and oh yeah, you had Troy Kotsur as the first deaf man to win an acting Oscar. Um, and you had yeah, you had the three female hosts being the first time ever three female hosts had hosted the Oscars. Wanda Sykes, um, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer. So that was tremendous. and that gets overshadowed as well. Um, there were so many things that were just snuffed because of the choices that were made by two individuals. And I'm going to say two individuals because one individual led the other. You had a woman encourage or provoke a man to create an action, and out of worry and for her so-called honor, or whatever you want to call that, he made the decision. Um, yeah, first Muslim person to win an Oscar for Best Live Action Film. That's Riz Ahmed. Shout out to him. Best Director awarded to a woman for the second year in a row. Jane Campion. I believe that's Campion, not Champion. Um, show had 3 female hosts for the first time. Um, and the award show had its first all-black production team. All this shit happens. The first black production team. If that shit right there alone doesn't piss you off as an African American, I don't know what else will. You had a lot of goofy ass remarks made by people like Tiffany Haddish, talking about how Will Smith was protecting his husband. She saw a man protecting her husband, or saw a man protecting his wife, rather. Excuse me. Oh yeah, not to mention Beyonce as well. Got an Oscar. That was Beyonce's first Oscar. It's crazy. It's crazy. My assistant is sending me this right now because of the technical difficulties we had with me. I had all this stuff ready, but couldn't find it. And the other openly queer woman to win an Oscar is Kristen Stewart and Spencer, by the way. So Kristen Stewart and Ariana DeBose breaking barriers as 2 queer women winning Oscars in their categories. This was a great foundation for women, let alone just people of color. Like, this was the women's Oscars for more reasons than one. Gay women, straight women, like this was their night too. Like, women's night, period. So, but back to Tiffany Haddish goofy ass. When she said that comment on the runway, it kind of reminded me of something that a typical hood chick would say. Y'all may not like my page after this, but I don't give a damn. Because I'm going to be honest. That was foolish of her to say that. Now, anybody else can get on Instagram, can get on Twitter and say, that's what that was. But that was foolish of her to say that and to support that kind of action. For the simple fact that shows support of violence, that shows support of emasculation, that shows support of Jada's narcissism, period. The funny part that I find about that comment that Tiffany Haddish was gung-ho about making was, what if it were a different set of circumstances where this was public, where this man was out, in the street, somewhere, maybe on Bill Street in Memphis, Tennessee, or, downtown at some kind of, just open and outward ceremony or festival. Would you ask him, or encourage him to smack another man then? Would you encourage him to partake in a violent act outside where he can get shot or he can get stabbed? But it's cool because it's inside of an auditorium full of people who ain't gonna carry no guns to a place like this because they're rich and protected, and most of them have protection on site with them and publicists with them and all of that shit. It was cool to do it in there, and it was cool because it was Chris Rock. I wonder if he would have done the same slap if it was The Rock. I doubt it, because The Rock would have cleaned his motherfucking ass. But then again, The Rock he's another resilient character. He has a lot of upstanding qualities. So I doubt if he would have made that decision in return. But Will would have had hesitance, is my point. So Tiffany Haddish can go to hell for making that decision. And any other little hood chick and black females abroad, because that's mostly who I've seen on social media making that commentary, they can go to hell too. Because what you encouraging or inciting is something that you wouldn't incite your man to do in public. Because in public, anything goes. Guns come off the hip, knives come out of pockets. It's a wrap. So, and if you one of the women that are, online supporting that shit, let me tell you what you're supporting. Today, it was reported earlier this afternoon that Will Smith submitted his resignation to the Academy. So today, Will Smith is no longer a member of an organization that gives awards to people for their acting qualities. Now you may say, okay, he don't get no awards, or they won't present him with no awards. So what? Okay, here's the chain reaction to that. So now, because of that, the producers of these movies have to think twice about hiring Will Smith. They may have a script that's so good, and it may even have been written for Will. But guess what? If they hire him and they put him in the role as the leading actor, they know they're not going to get the highest award. They know they're not going to reach the highest accolades that they can. It doesn't have Oscar-worthy potential, even if his acting abilities present Oscar-worthy potential. It's blocked. It's a ceiling over how high that the success of the movie can reach. Because this dumbass nigga done jumped on stage and smacked the man in the middle of one of the most prestigious film events of the year of the industry. So that's what it means to have to resign from the Academy. It means that you don't get the opportunity to get Oscars anymore until you're out of suspension. It means that you don't get considered for other accolades as well. And that also trickles down, like I said, to the producers having to think twice hiring your ass. So what does that mean when they have to think twice about hiring Will? Well, no one has said it yet, but I'm thinking that means that the next thing to start getting chipped away at is the A-list status. So we know that Will is an A-lister. There aren't many black A-listers. Who's up there? Black Hollywood is small enough as it is. Super small. So who's up there in Black Hollywood as an A-lister? Halle Berry, Denzel Washington, A-list. I don't know. The list is very small. Now you get down to the B's and C's, now you're getting down to, your Wanda Sykes and your Regina Halls and them. You can muster up quite a few, I don't even know if Tyler Perry is considered an A-lister for the simple fact that he created his own studio and his own environment so that he can demand what he wants to demand for his pictures and pay his actors what he wants to pay them. That's not Hollywood paying him 20 million, 30 million a picture like they do for Will. So I don't even think Tyler is considered an A-lister. Correct me if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments, but I don't think so. That's because he created his own ecosystem. He went and built the whole Tyler Perry Studios where, he can do his thing and do what he wants. So, yeah, I don't even think he qualifies. Danny Glover, motherfucker. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. The list is super small. Look it up. Look it up for me. And if you're watching, don't hesitate to put some A-list black actors in the comments. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I have no motherfucking idea. I have no idea. Also, let me know where you streaming from. If you're streaming from Facebook, if you're streaming from Twitch, if you're streaming from YouTube, I see folks falling in from different places. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Let me know where you're streaming from. So yeah. So what's next with getting affected? Because you can't hire this man to the capacity that you want to hire him, because in your film you're not going to get the accolades that your script deserves because this fool and what he done. So next thing that happens is it starts to attack the financial fortitude. So now, because you can't get an Oscar, Will, or you're not eligible for these awards, Will, we're not paying you 20 million a picture. We'll pay you 10 million. We'll pay you 8 million. I'm telling you that's how that's gonna work. And I ain't heard this from nobody. Like, man, business never changes. It's supply and demand. Period. So that's how that's gonna go. That's how that's gonna go. Thank you so much, Colleen. Top 4 A-list actors: Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, and Will Smith. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Formerly of the top 4 A-list actors, Will Smith was. Black A-list actors, excuse me. Formerly. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what happens next. Like, hey, we're not paying you 20 million a picture. We'll go get an up and coming black actor and make him more valuable and pay him way less money. We'll pay him 5 million, 3 million, and we'll drive his stock up. And in a few hit movies, he'll be a black A-lister. Hollywood replaces people. Everybody is, the word I'm looking for is expendable. All right. When I look at the historical side of Hollywood, who used to be, frequent in films and great, and, the great ones really last over the years, and then you have some that have really great success and then they drop off, maybe because of issues, maybe because of who knows what else. maybe lack of popularity. But there's only a few that last like decades over. You know, your John Travolta's, um, you know, your Morgan Freeman's, you know, in the black lane. Um, there's not many. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood is always looking for fresh, young talent to build and to you know um, invest in and and usher into upper echelons of Hollywood. You know, so you got here this person Will Smith. He comes in the game as a rapper. Then he, after a couple of albums, goes into a TV show and makes it an iconic TV show for I don't know how many seasons is the Fresh Prince, y'all. 5 seasons? Did he do 5 seasons or 7 seasons? It's one or the other. Um, and then that's 7 years of work. And then during the Fresh Prince and its time airing, you know, he's building the star power. I remember Will having a first big box office hit, which was Bad Boys 1. He was still on the Fresh Prince. Martin was still doing Martin at the same time. So, and then, you know, Independence Day, and then he became like Summertime Will. You know, you had Wild Wild West. Um, he just kept hitting you every summer. He was just killing. Think about all them films and no Oscars. 7 pounds. That's later, of course. I'm out of chronological order now. I said Wild Wild West. Um, shit. You know the movies. You know all them films that was box office hits. Your Men in Black franchise. What has he got? Like 3 Men in Blacks, I think 3. Each summer he was just Summertime Will. Boom, boom. Look at all that work. Look at the body of work, and then look at the years that it spans across. So you let a bald head, goofy ass bitch put you in a position where you can lose all of that, where all of that can just be revoked. If you've been keeping up with Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk and the stuff that they discuss, I'm sure that you know about the August Alsina situation. August Alsina, if you don't, is a singer. I've heard some news outlets talking about him as a rapper. He's not a rapper, he's a singer. What I heard, supposedly, how that exchange happens is he comes into the home by way of Jaden Smith. So he's Jaden Smith's friend, the son, and somehow him and Jada end up fucking, and you know he fucking his homeboy mama, and Jada airs it out on live stream on the Red Table Talk, and I guess Will and what's the name had a sit down or whatnot, and I guess that's the beginnings from what I've gathered. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess that's the beginnings of their open relationship situation because Will was very hurt. Will is expressing, you know, just he's on the show crying. This is when all the crying memes begin to get made because from what I heard, this is the start, and because him crying like how he was, I have to assume that that was the beginning of that entire open relationship situation. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. Please leave it in the comments. I haven't done much dissecting of the August Alsina Jada Pinkett Smith relationship situation, but he's on the show crying, and it gets aired out, and now their business is public and they're in an open marriage. They make the transition from a traditional marriage to an open marriage, um, which really ain't a marriage at all. There's no such thing as an open marriage. Okay, and if you think so, you're wrong. If you think so, you need to get a divorce so you can go and fuck who you want to fuck. Period. All right, because the Bible specifically says what a marriage is, and it says what you're supposed to do for each other and with each other under the word of God. Okay, so regardless of which, if you're not a person of God, that's fine too. Um, but the entire substance of marriage is supported in a biblical format. All right, in a religious format, and it does not speak anything about having other partners. So when that happens, like it just airs them out. They look however they look. That's my opinion. But I would say that people look at them with a side eye afterwards. Some people. Um, but this entire August Alsina situation is at the new foundation of their relationship now. So, Will even said so himself. I took a look at some, a quick glance at some stuff in his book. I didn't read it. Um, I was told that it was a good book um, by a good friend of mine. She read it and um, she said it was a really good book. Before doing this, I went and took a look at it and just kind of glanced over. And there's one area of the book where he was talking about, um, how he is easily manipulated by women and he tries to do everything he can to please them. And um, I mean, honestly, that's how the character on Fresh Prince was. The character of Fresh Prince he was a player, but he was always chasing girls. That was his MO. That was the Fresh Prince's MO. From the way he dressed. I mean, he was the honeys and this and that. Going to the high school with the preparatory jacket turned inside out. That was the whole MO. And Will's character in the Fresh Prince is basically kind of what that chapter was kind of speaking for him. He would do anything to please and keep the women. You know what I'm saying? Suck a nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? West Philadelphia, born and raised. So, uh, take it how you want to take it. But when you look up the definition of emasculation, you see ingredients of emasculation inside of this subject, inside of his actions, his actions and what he done. Sorry, not sorry. You know, to the black women that think it's cool to control your man and have him on a tight leash and to have him at manipulative fingertips, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not what you want. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't want to control your man. And as a man, you shouldn't want to control your woman. You should want, and this is for men and women, you should want freedom from both sides. You should want your mate to be themselves. You should want your mate to just have the ability to fully express themselves to you as y'all have come together for life. So if you're looking for a man to control, something's wrong with you, ladies. Something's wrong with you. Fellas, if you looking for a chick to control, something's wrong with you too, nigga. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with building and investing in a person to help them progress and get better, to build themselves and to better themselves every day. But if you want to puppeteer a motherfucker, that's a whole different level. You got a problem. You got a problem. People are not here to be controlled unless they're in jail. So, yeah, man. Our guy, the great Will Smith, is a puppet. If you just tuning in, this is the slap heard around the world. Heard round the world, not around, round the world. The slap heard round the world. Hey, they done heard about it all the way. Woo! Ethiopia, boy, they done heard about it all the way around here. It's a war going on right now. It's a war going on. Where's the war at? You know what I'm talking about. They done heard about it all the way around there. Folks ducking and dodging bullets around here. They done heard about the war. They at war. They done heard about this slap round the world. The slap heard round the world. If you just tuning in, all right. So embarrassing to be a black man. Speaking of myself, and to see the Oscars finally fully open the door to us, and when they do open the door to us, a goofy ass nigga shows the worst side of what you can be, and he had to be black while doing it. You don't understand. If you don't know about the Oscars and its prestigious background, you have to go back into the 60s and into the I can't remember what year that it was started. It might be in the 50s, but I do know the first black individual to win an Oscar was I can't remember her name, but she is the black lady who played in I think Imitation of Life. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who was the first black to win an Oscar? Can't think of her name, and I'm not gonna look it up because I'm juggling enough. Too many. Like, I got 2 phones, an iPad, and everything. So I'll leave that to y'all to put into the comments. But first black lady, I think, is the lady from Imitation of Life. If it's not her, then it's the lady from Gone with the Wind. It's one or the other. And even when she, I can't remember her name, but even when she won the award, she wasn't allowed to come and accept it. So she had to go to a juke joint, a little club somewhere in Hollywood, and accept it. And then they put her, they put her on camera and shit, and she was, accepted it and was crying and was saying how, I seen the acceptance and I seen her speech, and she's in this little club, and they wouldn't. She wasn't allowed to come to the ceremony. Look up her name. Look up the first black to win an Oscar, and then you'll see her and her acceptance speech and all that. So the history with the Oscars, very prestigious and was designed to exclude blacks. Period. So why on the biggest night of the Oscars, in terms of the black and the people of color being invested into it and awarded from it and a part of it. Why did this have to happen? Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, it ain't no telling when the next time they gonna let niggas direct or produce the Oscars. Um, just got a text that said Dorothy Dandridge. No, I knew it wasn't Dorothy Dandridge. Hattie Mcdaniel. That's right. Good job. Hattie McDaniel was an American actress, um, singer, songwriter, and comedian for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind. So it was Gone with the Wind. I knew it was either Gone with the Wind or it was the other movie I said, Imitation of Life. So yeah, she was the lady who played Mammy. I remember seeing in Gone with the Wind where she hollering from the window. Yes, I've watched that movie. Where she was hollering from the window at the white girl while the white girl was out there with the little guy. Who's the guy in that movie? I forgot what the guy's name is, but he's got one of those pencil mustaches. Um, he's a pretty big name. He's done some shit too, a lot of shit. But yeah, she was hollering out there at the girl out the window. So yeah, but she wasn't invited. She wasn't allowed to come and accept her own award. She had to go down the street on Hollywood Boulevard to a juke joint and accept the award. So we come from that, man. We come from that all the way to today. Just a few nights ago, where you had three women hosting, two of which were women of color, another one a white woman, and two gay women winning awards. Like, we come a long way. Women, black women, black men, long way. This slap, it sets us back, y'all. Sets us back. Straight up. You may not realize it now, but you're going to keep seeing things over time continue to unfold until it finally just comes to a halt. But it sets us back. Sets us back, man. I want to give a big shout out to Chris Rock for his resilience. Um, if there was anything to learn and to give kudos to and to appreciate, it was Chris Rock and his reaction. Chris Rock, he had a second where he said, boy, I would have something like that, and he said, oh. So, and then he snapped back into, and he continued. Wonderful job. Thank you, Chris. And I'm so sorry that happened. You didn't deserve that. I was going to have a friend of mine on the show tonight, but he ended up not being able to make it. Matter of fact, let me call to see if he's canceled for sure. This friend of mine is actually from where Chris Rock is from. And I think him and Chris Rock may be around the same age, possibly. But let me see if he's still going to make it. He called while I was speaking. I didn't answer. I didn't see it. Okay, so I got this friend, and he's from New York. He's from out there in Brooklyn. Somebody tell me how old Chris Rock is, please. Because him and my friend might be the same age, and if so, that means that they grew up in the same time frame, and they had very, very, very close experiences. My friend, he was also bullied like Chris Rock. If you've ever seen Everybody Hates Chris, that TV show is based off of Chris's real life. He changed some of those details about the show um, to to uh, to kind of fit other narratives. But my friend grew up in the same place as Chris, literally damn near the same neighborhood, and had a lot of the same experiences. Brother, you sound stuffed, man. You sound bad. Okay. I'm right in the middle of it. I was just talking about you, telling the people about you, man. This is my friend I was telling y'all about. We got viewers. We got folks tuning in right now too. Yep, across 3 different platforms, man. Yep. But this you can hear the New York right there, and while while I got you on the phone, I did have a question. So what is the how old or do you know how old Chris Rock is? I just got somebody chimed in and said 57. Awesome. How old are you? Wow. So my friend from New York, straight out of Brooklyn, he is 3 years. Born in Brook. Tell him again. Born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx. 3 years difference from him and Chris Rock, and he had a lot of the same experiences as I seen Chris Rock had in the TV show Everybody Hates Chris. That's all right. I thank you for just stopping by on the phone. That's a quick introduction to my great friend Jerome Murphy, you guys. And yes, I didn't know the age difference too much, but he's only 3 years difference from Chris Rock. So like their time that's like Chris Rock being a freshman and he was a junior, you know what I'm saying? So or a senior. So they had the same experiences. Did you experience the blackout? Was you in New York during the blackout? There's an episode on Everybody Hates Chris about the blackout. So yeah. Hmm. So yeah, we gonna have him. He's gonna stop by on the next show, and then I'll have a proper introduction. But brother, I thank you for calling, and the folks got to hear your voice, and I'm gonna give them a little bit more of your narrative in comparison with Chris Rock and his time frame, growing up in New York, and everybody hates Chris. Yeah, 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 man. All right, brother. Well, I'll give you a call in a little bit. All right. Sorry if he was very low, you guys. I wasn't expecting to have anyone call in. He was gonna be here, but nah, man. Like he's 3 years difference. 3 years Chris Rock senior, so they had a lot of experiences um, in New York at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's only 3 years difference right there. So, um, my friend was bullied because he wore very thick glasses. He would end up going blind eventually in time, my friend Jerome Murphy. But he wore very thick glasses and he was bullied and chased home like the character of Everybody Hates Chris. If you don't know, it was recently announced that Chris Rock is um, in therapy for what he was going through as a kid and his bullying that he experienced as a kid. So, yeah, man. Thank you to Jerome Murphy. But man, I appreciate Chris Rock. You know, Chris Rock, thank you so much um, for just being you strong and taking that slap, laughing at it, and finishing your job. And then got backstage and according to Will Packer, which is the producer of the Oscars, then got backstage and then told the police, "Nah, man, no, I don't. Those aren't options to me. I don't want him locked up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. No, no, no." You know what I'm saying? Thank you to Chris Rock. Chris Rock is the hero of this situation. Period. Period. So, um, wow. So, um, yeah, excuse me, I'm a little late with the banners, but hey man, this wasn't no defending no honor situation. This was a guy who has a woman who's got a grip on him, um, and for what reasons unknown, you know these folks, he may be super afraid of divorce. You know, he may be afraid of uh, what he may succumb to in a divorce, losing more than half, losing, you know, close to everything, you know. So, and then you got the open relationship ethic. Usually, when people go into an open relationship mode, man, they just trying to keep a partnership. They just trying to, you know, they just trying to keep each other. That's just crazy. So, um, it's unfortunate. Um, it's an embarrassment. It's an outright embarrassment. It's what it is. Period. So, call it how you want to call it. Shout outs to all the people once again with all those first that I named, Mr. Bose and um, the Muslim gentleman, and all those folks. Great job for you guys' work. Um, it's much appreciated. Much appreciated. Straight up. Um, I also wanted to point out Chris Rock done his first show since the incident. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and he was in an entanglement with a heckler in the crowd. The heckler had made some references toward the incident, and I guess the heckler got out of his seat and might have been approaching the stage, or might have just been out of his seat and appeared to be aggressive. At which point, Chris Rock made a comment. Chris Rock says, "Hey, you know, I don't know if this guy's got a gun or what. Was this guy gonna shoot me or you know?" So security snatches the dude up, takes him out, brings him outside, and he gets ruffled up, pepper sprayed, took to jail, and all that. Like Will Smith has now put people in a position that are comedians to feel fearful of doing their job. People that have to be on stage and do their normal routine of what they've written for themselves are now in fear of somebody approaching them. By the way, I'm just gonna have a couple of these nuts. I wish I could give y'all a couple. You know what I'm saying? But these nuts. So people scared now to, you know, tell their jokes on stage. It's a shame. This is a country with, you know, the protection of free speech. So he's affected that, man. He's affected that. Um, he's affected some shit, man. And who knows what the outcome is going to be? Who knows what happens? Who knows how this thing turns out in the end? I don't know. You know, but the shit was bad. Period. So also, I'd like to let you know that it was revealed today that there is a video of Jada Pinkett Smith laughing after the slap. Yes. Before they were just showing, you know, Will jump up on stage, smack him. You didn't even really see in the editing. You saw Jada's face and she made that face, and then Will was laughing because he's laughing at the joke. But you never get to see when he looks to her and, you know, kind of takes whatever he took from her to make the decision to go and do what he done. But there's video now released that shows her laughing when he slapped Chris Rock. You can find that video. I want to say it's probably on Ebro in the morning on Hot 97, one of their latest videos. You should be able to find it. It was released today. So yeah, you know, like they show video of her laughing after the slap. Man, she's a goofy motherfucking bitch. Like, just keeping it real for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just even more disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's never cool, man, to demean, degrade, you know, or you know, just bully somebody. You know, I hate to use that word because that word is just they've made it so profound in these last few years, bullying. But you're looking at a bully situation. You know, Chris Rock knew. I mean, Will Smith knew Chris Rock wasn't gonna jump fresh, and he knew where he was at. You know, so it's definitely a bully ethic in there. You know what I mean? So, um, but yeah, she laughed, and it's video released of that today. Her laughing after the slap. So, yep, she got what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? Laughed and you know got the slap and laughed about it and everything. So kudos uh, to her bald head alopecia having ass. You know, um, I don't feel that Chris Rock's mild joke merited anything that happened. Alopecia is something that you can definitely get past. I've had alopecia. I had alopecia all in this side of my face, man. this side of my face. Like it was just big circles, big gashes. And this is my first season of having a beard, and this beard is super full. I had alopecia in my head. You can see it in my head when I had a fade. Well, I now, you know, have locks and long hair. So Jada will get past that shit, and she will grow her hair back in a matter of time. Once again, that was a mild joke at best. So, slap heard around the world, ladies and gentlemen, and it's gonna keep getting heard because of the aftershock and everything that's gonna come behind it in the next days and weeks to come. It's unfortunate in closure because I have so much respect for Will Smith. I have admired him for years and his work. He's one of the few rappers that has such a successful career without having to partake in the gangster rap realm and having to just do some of the gimmicks and things that rappers have had to do to find success. He was just him, a lighthearted, fun rapper. And I respected that. You have people like Eminem when he came out. What was Eminem's famous line? Will Smith doesn't have to cuss in his albums to sell records. Well, I do. So fuck him and fuck you too. There it is. You got young Eminem telling you, what I'm saying, well, I do gotta cuss. So fuck Will Smith. But that just showed even more, the quality of Will. He don't have to use profanity, and he don't have to get into no gangster shit, in order to sell an album. He'll sell albums over albums, hand over fist. And he don't have to partake in none of that. So, but yeah, man, that's what it is. So, man, I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank y'all for taking the time out to stop by on Friday night. It was plenty of things y'all could have done. It's 2:39 in the morning. Y'all could have been out getting some butt, but y'all came and sat down with a boy. I appreciate it. Tune in, man, here soon. We're going to have another live episode. We got a great guest coming on, a good friend of the family. Her name is Miss Penny Gregory. We're going to talk to a friend of the family that's one of the first black women that I've ever met. Well, the first black woman I've ever met to go to Harvard University. Amazing. I can't wait to speak about that. I can't wait for her to tell her story about Harvard and how she got accepted. So I'm looking forward to that. Look forward to meeting my partner in crime that you heard earlier. Sorry if it was a little hard to hear. Jerome Murphy. He'll be on the next show as well. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I'll let the song say the rest. Let's start the show. Or rather, let's end the show. I'm out. Thanks once again, y'all. Peace. I'll send you away with the song if you don't mind. We got a really dope theme song. This is special occasion, such a time and occasion, and you lady in the Tune in next week. We'll announce that date coming soon. Miss Penny Gregory, Harvard University attendee. Can't wait to talk about it. I love good shit. Make sure you tune in. Peace.